Without any further ado, guys, let me open this. The display is both curved and flat, and what is really weird is that the curvature is equal on all sides. And on the back we have the camera model, the main stars, the ultra-wide, the telephoto camera, which is 3.2x 75mm. It can go up to 10x, but technically only 3.2x optical with OIS, and the ultra-wide camera, and of course the main star of the show. As you can see, it comes with a stock screen protector, which is not bad. 12GB LPDDR5X, and the flash is UFS. I think it's UFS 4.0. If we go to the SoC, boom, the main star of the SoC, 8 cores, remember, so big little like 4 setup. We have 1 core running at the whooping 3.3 GHz, 2 cores running at almost 3 GHz, another 3 cores running at 315 GHz, and 2 cores running at 2.26 GHz. Screen brightness, this is interesting. Refresh rate is the default, recommended, okay, and I can go custom and I can select 60 or 120, 1200 by 1440. 120 Hz, Dolby Vision, HDR10, LG, and HDR10 Plus, and yeah, I mean, this is really what it is. I have tested the Xiaomi 14 Pro display in depth using the auto brightness off with the sunlight mode, using the auto brightness on, just to try to see how much we can get of that sweet 3000 peak nits brightness, and the results were a bit disappointing, not only in using YouTube HDR, but also using a local HDR 10-bit video playback on the phone itself. Now starting from the ultra-wide camera, going back to the main camera, color consistency is quite nice, going to the 2x, from the 2x going to the 3.x optical zoom, and then I'm gonna show you again 5x and 10x, which is very usable on this phone, and then the 70x, which is not so nice, but still there. One more shot on the ultra-wide, main camera, please check all the colors and the rendition, the 2x crop, which looks also fantastic, 3.2x zoom camera down to the 5x, and then one more time the 10x, which is almost a crisp image, and then 70x, which is not that good compared to the S23 Ultra. Something very impressive I wanted to share with you is just the speed of the phone, shutter speed. So see here, guys, I'm really able to take photos like crazy, and it's just amazing, right? Now have in mind, those photos are not 50 megapixel, and now let's test the 50 megapixel. Yeah, well, still technically very impressive. Some more shots starting from the ultra-wide camera, going back to the main camera. The main point of seeing all these samples is to analyze the accuracy of the colors. The zoom is also quite nice, and again, I have more samples to show you. Here we have again the main camera, now the zoom cameras, and I'm even going to the 5x and 10x, which is still very usable. It's probably on par with the level of the S23. Let's talk about some portraits. Those are front camera portraits, and we see that the cutouts are rendered very correctly. Let's check the back camera, starting with the 35mm portrait, the 50mm portrait, then also the 75mm, pay attention to the cutouts, the 67mm, and then the soft focus, which is 90mm, and also the full body portrait. And all of those portrait shots are nice, and they are comparable with iPhone 15 Pro Max and S23 Ultra. But the main star of this camera is the aperture that is f/1.42, and the fact that it's able to capture enough light. Check the picture, this one is without the night mode, this here is with the night mode, and it gets even better. Please pay attention to these pictures. This is from the main camera, no night mode. This is the one with the night mode. Then another one from the zoom camera without night mode and with the night mode. And this one is stunning. See, you cannot see here anything, but the moment I switch to the night mode, it produces a very nice usable picture. What I mostly like about the Xiaomi 14 Pro night mode Pro Sync is the very natural night mode. It doesn't oversaturate, it doesn't overexpose the pictures as we've seen on the Galaxy phones and also on the iPhones. They really look very natural. And although it's hard to activate the night mode all the time, the pictures without night mode are stunning. No sky banding issues, very sharp, very clear, less noise and good dynamic range. This is a 4K 60 FPS video on the front camera on the Xiaomi 14 Pro, and I'm very happy to report that it's for the first time since a while at least we have 4K 60 FPS on the front camera, and I'm gonna do a stabilization test. So electronic image stabilization on the front camera, 4K 60 FPS on the back camera, guys. Now I'm gonna start running to do a stabilization test. This camera is stabilized with OIS. And now let me zoom further to see if we can do the other switch to the optical camera. Yes, we can. See here, guys. The moment I go and I choose below 2.6, I am entering the main sensor and I can use this optical zoom and bring it up to 15x. Bitrate is very high. Audio, we have AAC-LC and we have a bitrate of 320 kilobytes. A nice overall bitrate with a nice quality audio. 4K 30 FPS video in low light. And now pay attention, guys. I'm gonna go to 1x and immediately you can see the jump to the main sensor, how much more light I'm able to capture. This phone will get you 120 watt wire charging, but some reviewers were mentioning that they measured only 90 watts. Still technically very strong, and it will also get you 5 to 6 hours screen on time with this battery of 4800 mAh. It will get you through the day. Now pay attention to the connectivity, guys. For a China phone outside of China, I was very impressed with the 5G speeds, topping up 600 megabits per second. Was really very impressive for the Xiaomi 14 Pro. Now let's talk about HyperOS for a minute, because HyperOS is the technical and spiritual successor of MIUI, and customization is brought to the next level with a lot of options, starting from customizing the lock screen, choosing different wallpapers and fonts, and the animation and everything around this is really very smooth. So I have to praise Xiaomi here for taking this to the next level. The overall OS feels very smooth, no problems with consistency, and I'm also very happy to see where Xiaomi is going with HyperOS. The options for customizations are plenty, and I've also compared this with the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Pro Max with iOS and One UI 6. Now, it's a blatant copy of One UI to some extent, as you can see here on the control center, but we have to praise Xiaomi for animating icons and making the whole user experience very, very friendly, as you can see here also on this example. Specifically, apps opening and apps closing, all the animations that go along this all the time, very consistent. So you can also see here when I do this test, this is problematic for phones with One UI, but we'll have no problem on the HyperOS. And also the fact that they have a real dark theme, which means real black, is something that goes high in my book. So HyperOS is a very much advanced MIUI, I would say. It looks the same, but it's gonna go into a different direction hopefully in the future. Now let's speak about the performance, where I have both good and bad news. In this particular 3D Mark test done inside with ambient temperatures like 22 degrees, the Xiaomi 14 Pro was not able to finish the test, which was disappointing because of overheating. And as you can see, it goes up to 48, 49, sometimes even more than 50 Celsius. The Geekbench is rather clear. Apple A70 Pro destroys everything else, not only on the CPU test, but as you can see also on the GPU test. And you can watch my other videos where I did a lot of cross-platform tests. But now to some real performance testing. Now, playing Genshin Impact was actually showing us that the Gen 3 is very powerful, and I'm not only playing the game here, guys. As you can see, I'm running a Facebook video messenger call on top just to try to put a bit more strain on the phone. So the FPS here on the Gen 3 was really better on the Xiaomi 14 Pro compared to the S23 Ultra. But overall, after some gameplay, it started to deteriorate. I try to play PUBG, I also try to play the mobile COD or the Call of Duty, and just for gameplay the phone is capable enough. I try to also run a CPU throttling test inside a pop-up window on top of a 3D Mark test, which didn't end up good. But guys, the moment I brought the phones outside with 4 Celsius ambient temperature, we've seen the raw peak performance of the Xiaomi 14 Pro, 88% of stability, which is not bad. So the only problem that this phone has right now is only with heat, and I hope that Xiaomi are going to be able to address this in the future. And now the $1 million question, guys. Yes, there is an IR blaster on the back of the phone, and I see not a lot of reviewers are getting this, but you can just see that I'm able to control my TV with this, and if I am also turning it off, I'm gonna be able to do so. So yes, there is indeed an IR blaster. Somehow it's not so visible, and not a lot of people are mentioning this, but hey, you're gonna be able to play with your AC if you get the Xiaomi 14 Pro. Let's test also the GPS 3D fix. Some people reported issues, but once you update to the latest software, you should be able to have a good lock like I have right now, and even going outside will get you more satellites locked. So we are now at the end of my review video, guys, and I want to share some thoughts that might help you buy or not buy the Xiaomi 14 Pro. Now, apparently, if you buy this version right now, you have to know it's a Chinese only version. And it means that, yes, you're gonna have a lot of Chinese bloatware applications, and some of them are useful, some of them I even don't know what they do, and most of them you can remove if you want. All right, so you have to notice. But even Mi Video, for example, if you put it on, guys, you're gonna see, yeah, it's still only China, and the same happens for the game, so this could be a bit frustrating. And the only other thing that I don't like is probably right now at this point of time, without rooting it, we cannot have our Google Home at the left, and it's a bit annoying every time you reach for the Finder that you get things like this. So those are the limitations. Also, you have to know that it's a bit trickier to unlock this phone compared to the others. So if you get a Chinese phone like I did, guys, and you want to unlock the bootloader to try to flash, let's say, Xiaomi EU, you might need to have some Chinese ID document, Chinese credit cards. I think that there are some workarounds around this, but it's still technically a bit more difficult than it used to be, right? So if you right now want to jump on the Gen 3 wave and you want to have all the latest devices with the latest Leica camera and the Leica sensor, you need to know those limitations, okay? So this phone might not really be for you. But if you are like me, want to test new stuff out, well, of course, more than welcome to buy that phone. It's a good phone with all the flaws, and we just hope that Xiaomi will address some of those in the future, like adjust a bit the thermal management so the device throttles less and of course doesn't overheat so much. And that's it, guys. I really hope that you have enjoyed this review. It's really a very solid phone, so I cannot recommend it for a regular user, but if you outside are a nerd, Mr. or Mrs. like myself, then you probably might as well want to buy it. Thank you so much for watching. VST over
and bye.
Bye.